Cypress Accessibility is a way to automatically create an accessibility report for every Cypress run just by recording to Cypress Cloud. If I click through to a report, this is going to show me all of the pages that were detected or the components if we have component tests, and they each have their own individual list of accessibility violations that can be reviewed. For example, if I click on the transaction page, it's going to take me through and show me a subset of Axe core rules that are failing on this page, and I can open these up to see the specific elements that are failing. This is really useful because we want to see the exact state that represents an accessibility failure, not just a HTML selector or something like that. So here on the right-hand side, we have a fully inspectable, debuggable HTML and CSS snapshot. This is something we can use right now in the cloud to print out the element and start to get the details of what's actually going on. If we're not going to fix it right now, we can hit the share button. That gets us a nice link and some other data about this issue that we can put into a ticket or send in a message to someone else. When that work is picked up, there's also the underlying test replay available, so you can always see how did a user reach this state, what are the conditions that are required, and this acts as your reproduction steps. So it can be very quick to share a fully accurate, reproducible example of any accessibility issue just by pasting a link to this particular run in the cloud. When you share the link, everything that you're looking at right now will be associated back to that exact example that someone pulls up. There's also a lot of things you can do outside of the scope of the Cloud UI in order to use this information in various ways in your pipeline. First of all, there's an API to parse out the results and decide based on what's failing and on what pages or components do you need to fail the build, or is it something that's in progress and doesn't require failing just yet, in which case you can ignore the issue. There's also the ability to compare individual reports, so you can look at the run from before and after a particular pull request and decide if the accessibility changes that are happening as a part of that are acceptable to you. How many new elements are failing rules, how many rules have failed now compared to before, all that information is there. People also use Cypress Accessibility for production monitoring and crawling purposes because as long as you can render it in a Cypress test, you're going to get this kind of rich report back out of it. So it's a great way to cover a lot of ground on different types of issues that you might be seeing across things that don't currently have functional tests, as well as your full existing Cypress suite.